Welcome back. We've been on hiatus part of the summer, obviously, because it's been so hot. And we just wanted to catch up and take some time off, but we're back. We're back here again, me and Josh and Troy Baldwin with Guild Mortgage. He's got some fantastic stuff that you need to listen to. Troy, go ahead.
All right.
Take it away.
All right. Well, it's been busy summer for us. At Guild Mortgage, home affordability is the term being thrown around out there, and we've been working hard to figure out how to help with that on the lending side of the world. So recently we've got a number of different programs, but one specifically that is new, brand new to probably the lending world as far as being used, um, used to help with affordability and not so much for the profit of investors. So it's called the Estately Land Lease, and we partnered with a company, the company Estately. They put together the investor dollars to help with home affordability, and that's really what they're after. Is they want to help people get into homes, and yes, they're going to make a little bit of money on their end, but it's not. They're not in it for the money per se. All right. And how this works is it's a leasehold loan, and so currently most of the homes here in Colorado are what we call fee simple. So you own the land and you're buying the land and you're buying the house, and it's one property. What a leasehold is somebody else owns the land. You own the home. You only have to qualify for purchasing the home itself, the structure, and then you lease the land back from the landowner. Hawaii uses this. About 90% of Hawaii homes are that way, because the land is so valuable in Hawaii. Well,
Right.
now that Colorado, our property values have gone up so much, and in Colorado, $100,000 of your lot is generally just water now.
Yeah.
So Estaley's come in and said, hey, we're going to buy the land for 35% of the purchase price of the whole property. So they're going to do 35%. Even if the land is worth a little less, they have an algorithm. They know the market. They've got something that goes out, looks, and says, this is what the value, we're going to do 35%. Here's what it is. And then you only have to qualify for the remainder of the home, the structure itself. So in our worksheet here, the scenario that we built out, it basically walks you through purchasing a $675,000 home, but you can use this for much lower purchase prices here. And so if you purchase over 675, they're going to purchase the land for 236,250, and so that's going to take away $236,000 that you have to qualify for, right? So now you're only qualifying for the $438,000. And so where we've seen this being a benefit to people is, well, one, it's going to save them money in the end, but two, if you're looking to upsize because you're going to have another child, you're only qualifying for a condo, and you would really like a single family home. Well, this gives you the option to say, hey, I can move up because I don't have to qualify for the whole thing now. I just got to qualify for the home. So it won't work on a condo because there's no land, right? Right. So it has to be a single family home on land.
Okay.
And so on that $438,000 loan, then you put 5% down. So that we're using a Fannie Freddie product, conventional mortgage, just typical. That's what we use alongside this. We're working on, Estately is working with FHA to get FHA involved with it too. So that'll be coming, but it'll be a Fannie Freddie conventional 5% down payment loan. Okay. And how then it works is now you're just paying interest on that $438,000 versus that the loan amount being much higher at 641, and then so your principal and interest payment is much lower. You do pay the monthly land lease, so that gets included in now the cost of the property as far as your debt to income ratio and the payment there. And so, and your monthly mortgage insurance is still there because you only put 5% down. Well, but you're only paying mortgage insurance on 403,000 versus 641,000. So that's a lot lower.
Right. That's where the jump comes from.
That's a good jump right there, right? And so your total monthly payment, if you were just buying 675 and putting 5% down, your payment's 4,608. Yeah. Whereas in this, with your loan amount of 403,650 and your land lease of that, just a little over $1,000, you're at $39.24. So you're saving $684 a month. That's a lot for people.
Yeah. Right? So even with the land lease built in there in the payment that we're all used to paying, like if I was going to go get this tomorrow, even with the land lease built in, because of the mortgage insurance, it's still, I like to call it gaming the system a little bit.
You are. And the really good piece about this program, you're signing it's a 50-year lease. The state lease is saying, hey, it's a 50-year lease. In Hawaii, other places, they're generally a 100-year lease. Mm-hmm. But in that while you live there, you have the first opportunity you get, and you want to put the land back with the home. You can refinance, pay off a stately, and put the land back with the house. If you go to sell and you want to sell the house with the land, they will sell it they'll put it together so you can sell it as one property. And then, the estate lease paid off and your mortgage is paid off, and you go move to your nice home, and you take your equity with you. The really cool thing about this is estately, what they're going to get paid in the end for what they purchased the house for, or purchase their 35% for whatever they purchased the land for, they will charge the difference of what the consumer price index, CPI, was from the time they bought the land. So if, say, the index was at 300 when they bought the land, and in 5 years when you go sell the house, it's now 350 for the index. So that 50 basis points between those two on the index, you're going to pay what they paid plus that 50 basis points on that land.
Okay.
Which, as we all know here, CPI does not generally increase as much as our property values increase.
Yeah. Right.
So that difference between that 350 and what more equity is above there, you get. They don't want it.
Okay.
They just want that CPI margin.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
So it's actually, there are some products out there, we found out when we started doing this, that some companies offer, something similar to this where it's a leasehold and they do that, but they want that full equity. They actually charge you fees to sell it or buy it. It's bad. These guys will actually pay as part of, when you go to close, they'll pay some of the title insurance stuff that needs to be paid because they're buying the land and things. So they're doing a good job, and
yeah.
they want you to be able to save that money and then use it, or move up in a house, or at least save that money monthly, so that then you can save and do whatever you want to with that money. So it makes it more affordable for people. So that's the estately loan. It is one that takes a lot of education to get everybody's head around it because it's so different. And, people are going to say, well, I don't know about that. You can do whatever you want to with the land. You can put a shed. You can do all your landscape. You can do whatever you want to the land as long as it's legal. If you're breaking the law, you can't do it.
So it's, it sounds like too that this is a good program to get in the house, and then when you can refinance, because we get that with Chfa a lot too. Because the myth about Chfa that nobody talks about is not all of the money is a grant. You've got a lot of it where it's a silent second as well, and that has to be covered as well if you let it sit there through the duration that you're in the house. Yeah. And we run into deals like that where we're pulling the public records, and it's like, oh, you got a Chfa silent second for $20,000. We got to make sure we clear that too.
Yeah, and that's Chfa offers a 3% of the loan amount in a grant. You can do that loan, or you can do 4% in down payment assistance in a second lien, right? They're great, and we can lead right into the next program, which is a Chfa program. On the last page, we'll just go right in. Chfa, Colorado Housing and Funding Authority. It is a great option for down payment assistance for getting into your first home, and that because that's silent second, and you have to pay that off if you do sell it. You generally probably want to stay in that house probably about 5 years, just so you can build up that equity so that you can sell, take some equity away, pay off both mortgages, and then go on to the next home. So it is one of those that helps you get in, but you probably are going to want to stick around in that house for a little while, unless property values are going crazy.
The way they did in
in 2020.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, over that time frame. So anyway, this is brand new. Chfa just started offering it, is the Teachers to Home Loan Program. And it's actually for any school employee that's working full time. And there's some stipulations as to what's considered. You must be a full-time employee of Colorado pre-K through 12 in a school district, a charter school, an institute charter school, a board of cooperative educational services, or an innovation zone. So this is what's called an equity share program. Mm-hmm. Chfa is going to give you 25% of the loan amount towards the purchase of a home. They're going to give it to you. They're going to actually purchase 25% of the home, basically, is what they're doing. Okay. Which then you only have to qualify for the rest. Mm-hmm. All right. So how this works is, you're going to say you're going to put 20, most people will do 20% down, and it's not coming out of their pocket. So they don't have to have the 20% because they get this 25% here from Chfa to use it towards down payment, to use towards closing costs. Okay. And so that automatically, you say you're putting 20% of that towards the down payment and then the other 5% towards closing costs. But by getting down to 80% loan to value right away, no mortgage insurance. Right?
That's awesome.
Right?
Yep.
So you're out of mortgage insurance right off the bat. Well, I ran this out. It's typical of every Chfa loan that you're going to bring in what down payment assistance or what this home equity piece gives you. You're probably in it for between $9,000 to $11,000 is what you're going to have to bring if you don't get seller concessions. Okay. If you don't, you have to bring $1,000
right.
of your own money, just
right.
like every other Chfa program. Mm-hmm. So that's standard. But with this, we can also do, okay, well, let's put 15% down towards that, or maybe it'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of 18 and a half probably, because then that will get you down to just bringing that $1,000, because the rest of it can go to closing costs.
Okay.
You will have to pay that mortgage insurance, but when you put 15% down and you have a good credit score, you're maybe talking $70 a month in mortgage insurance. So it's one of those things where when we get with the person and decide, well, do you have cash to put down? Do you want to put cash down? How do you want to use this 25%? Now, when you go to sell this house or when you go to refinance, you're going to have to give them their 25% back.
Okay.
All right. Plus whatever equity gain there was over the however many years you've been in the house.
Well, that's understandable. It's done now.
Yeah, but you're only giving them 25% of the equity. Right. You get the other 75%, right? So that's fair though, because it only costs, you only have to qualify for 75%. They're helping you with 25%. So it's a great way for full-time employees of those schools that are allowed to get into a home free, right?
And Chfa does that anyway with regular loans, except it's not as high because it's giving a break to teachers, because obviously there's the whole salary thing. Teachers should make more money, so this is a good way to
help them out.
Yeah,
Help them out.
Yeah, that's just it. Is I mean, presenting this to school, to the schools and saying, hey, let's get, you want to keep your teachers in the district working at your school. Let's get them in a house because that's going to keep them there, right? As soon as they get in the house, it's not as easy for them to move and leave the school districts.
Right. And then it sounds to me too, it's like it's finding that sweet spot when to refinance, because if I use this, I wouldn't want it sitting there for a long time.
Right.
And just like with any Chfa product, pick that sweet spot, get it refinanced. That way you're done.
Mm-hmm.
You use the program, pass it on to somebody else.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. It's just another way that, with home affordability to help at least this group of people with it. It's a great option. Like Greeley does that with they have a program for Greeley and city employees. They have a similar program.
Yes.
Yeah.
You have to purchase in certain areas of town, right?
Certain tiers that they're not all equal.
Yeah.
There's a whole map.
Of
On
where
it.
you can go.
Obviously, the further east you go, you get more money.
Right.
And then I think now the cutoff is 35th Avenue, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. They give you X amount of dollars and you still got to pay it back. So that's the way it is.
Right.
It's just to help you get into the.
It's help you get in there and you're out of paying rent. At least you're paying
A mortgage.
a mortgage, right?
Exactly.
And you're not paying somebody else's mortgage. So then this product here is it's a NOCO Foundation Equity Shared Down Payment Assistance Program. So this is a straight, true equity share, and they're calling down payment assistance program. But what's happening is NOCO Foundation is a foundation in Fort Collins, and they put together this program for Larimer and Weld counties only. And that foundation takes donations from large donors, small donors, whoever, and they've got several charities that they help fund, and then they do programs like this where they did a home affordability study, which was outstanding, and gave us a lot of information of what's going on in northern Colorado and how they can help, and they came up with this so they've committed to putting 15% towards the purchase of the home. And so basically NOCO Foundation is buying 15% of the property, and you are only buying 85% and qualifying for 85%. It is a 5% down payment requirement. So again, they're putting 15% down. You put 5% down while you're at that 80% loan to value.
Yep.
No more mortgage insurance. All right. And the maximum purchase price, and its purchase price is they're allowing is $650,000. Gives you some numbers around the area median income, and you got to be no greater than 120% of the area median income. So those numbers show you, for however big your household site is, what your maximum amount of income is. And it's 120%, so it's quite a bit. And this would fit a lot of first-time home buyers.
Yes, I would.
We use conventional Fannie Freddie products to do the 85% loan there. And it'll be 30 years, no monthly payments are required on the 15% ever, no interest on it. It just, when you go to sell the home, you'll sell a home as normal, and they're going to want their original investment that they put out there of that 15% plus 15% of the equity from the time you purchased it until the time you sell it. You get 85% of it. So it's just that equity share. And we have run the numbers out on these equity share programs to 10 years. And the interesting thing, because you're paying interest on a lower loan amount, because you're not paying mortgage insurance for those 10 years, when you go to sell the house, the equity that you will recover from that and the money you saved over the years compared to if you would have bought 100% of the home is we did it on a $550,000 home, I think. You ended up with $25,000 more dollars than if you would have bought 100% of the home.
Because of the mortgage insurance.
Mortgage insurance and the lower interest that you're paying, right? It's so this is something that, hey, and as Guild, we're trying to fund our own equity share program. and that's where we were running all the numbers, and that we're like, well, why wouldn't everybody do this, right? I mean, if you can do an equity share, you end up with more money at the end.
You do?
Because you're not paying as much you're not interest to the lender and interest to or homeowners insurance. I'm sorry, mortgage insurance. But you really will probably never ever use, right?
Right.
So, or that somebody else will never have to use because you pay your mortgage on time. So, this is a great opportunity for people. So those are the home affordability products that we currently. I mean, it's been the last 2 weeks. We kind of rolling everything out here. So
That's what it sounds like with us too. They're going to major shifts in this area for first-time home buyers. There's a lot more programs now, and they use their creative ways to game the system. And then, like I said before, it's like it's picking that sweet spot. If you don't want it sitting there for 30 years or 20 or even 10, refinance, get out of it.
yeah, yep, yeah. You always have that option. That's like the land lease. I mean, that's a great option. That you signed a 50-year lease. You're not tied to it. You can. Oh no, we want to buy the land back, and then okay, yeah.
Well, and that too, I could see people with the land lease getting used to paying and stuff like that, and as they get like more income, down the road, more income, where they think, well, you know what, I think I can afford now to incorporate the land. Let's just do that so we could be done. Right. I can see that.
Yeah. And that should be everybody's goal, right? I mean, you buy a house like, okay, we know we're going to buy another house later, or we know, it's just that growth and how you want to grow as you have kids and do things and what's important to you, and you should have those goals as like, oh yeah, I want to put this back, or when we sell it, the next one we won't have to do this. We can,
yeah.
So it gives you those options and gets you started down that road for sure.
And it sounds like things that Chfa didn't think of, like mortgage insurance, these do.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like it hasn't been thought of yet, or hasn't really been optimized for the states, because like you said, Hawaii does this.
Yeah.
But so now that's going further west or further east to us.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. One other new program that we just got last week. This is more of has to do with conforming loan limits, and you do loan to values as high as 95%, 90% for condos. So this one does condos. So there's no down payment assistance or equity share or anything like that. But this is for people who, hey, we're going to buy the property, but we want a great interest rate. So this new loan, it's a 7-to-1 conforming loan limit R.
Okay.
Adjustable rate mortgage. And so that gives you 7 years to figure out when is the best time to refinance to get out of the adjustable rate. Maybe you get to the end of 7 years, or in that 7-year range, you're like, well, wait, rates are down at 5. My rate's going to adjust down to 5. Maybe I'll just leave it for a little while. I mean, you could kind of gamble, right? But if it's down to 5, I'm going to say, yeah, let's refinance you, get you out of it, right? Get you locked in. But this is pricing so well that it doesn't make sense to not use it if you can. If you can put the 5% down and not need down payment assistance or anything, because it's pricing at 5.5% right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's great. So, I mean, it's $400 a month on a $500,000 loan, or $450,000 loan. It's about $400 less a month in interest you're paying.
Wow.
It's outstanding. And they have a jumbo option as well that is pricing at 5.375. And that's for anything over the conforming loan limits of $832,750, up to $3 million. So, yeah, it's a really great opportunity working with a partner here in Colorado that's doing it. And we're the only ones actually working with them doing it. So
you have a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. Well, you all need to call. You've heard this stuff. I know we go quick, but the thing is, the stuff is there so that you can own a home.
And for anybody who like has questions, we're always available.
Yeah.
100% of the time. But taking all this in, it's just enhancing what's already been there. Like for Chfa, for any other down payment assistance program, like what Troy was talking about, chances are if it's a loan, you'd have to make sure you clear that anyway when you refinance or sell. So that's already been out there in the wild for a long time. But these are just enhancements of like, let's get a little bit creative here. I'll buy the land, you buy the house, but then at the same time, also, us regular Joes can't do that. Like, we can't just show up and go, hey, I want to buy part of the house. We can't do that.
Right.
So yeah, there's a lot of options. A lot of options. We've got all this information that we're gonna put on our podcast thing. You'll put that on there. So that what you can do is pull it open and take a look. If you have questions, give us a call. We would be more than happy to set you up with an appointment with Troy and go over your options. I mean, it doesn't cost you anything. Right. He'll go over the options and see what he can do for you, and we can go from there.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Troy, say your stuff.
Pitch. Oh, yeah. So Troy Baldwin with Guild Mortgage, 970-301-0321. Give me a call in the evenings, in the weekends. I'm available and happy to help. So
we have a flashlight that has his logo like Batman. There you go.
So thank you for tuning in to us again. We'll put all the information on there, and we look forward to hearing from you.